Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raditya Arya Nugraha. In this occasion, I would like to analyzing the course book. For the title is Greeting and Parenting for the framework based on the Chillingsworth and Tomlinson framework. For the designs and organization, uh, the grade of the English module designed for interactive for competency based on learning on the material such as reading, introductions, and daily conversations. Using a scientific approach, discuss, and media such as a video, this module aims to create an engaging learning experience. Formative and summative assessment include the written assignment, dialogues, and group discussion to evaluate student overall understanding. The model structures includes the general information, meaningful the understanding learning active on consisting of introduction, core, and a conclusion. The material are organized in sub-chapters with the theories, example, and exercise, such as formal, informal, greetings, and practice or introducing oneself on the others. Learner worksheet or LKPD are the provide to support independent learning. The module also analyzes the technology such as YouTube videos and reliable source to reinforcing learning. Overall, the module support the student learning actively and meaningfully. For the methodology, the teaching methodology in this English module for the grade 7 design support the active students engagement through the structures and this approach the main technologies. For the first scientific approach, this approach involves learning based on the observation, explorations, and experimentations. In the model, students are guided the observed materials through the video, analyze language patterns, and create the dialogue based on topic. For this approach aim to develop critical thinking and problem solving. For the second, there is questions and answer and discussion method. Teachers analyze the question and answer method to explore their student prior knowledge and simulate group discussion. This method allows the student interact, exchange this idea, and learns collaboratively. And the next, the third, the contextual and practical learning. The model integrates life situations such as the formal and informal greetings or the self-introductions, dialogue, enabling the student to apply their learning everyday context. This practical learning is supported by role-playing activities involving the parent or groups. For the fourth, there are use technology, interactive media. Educational video from the YouTube are used to help students understand the material in engineering or accessible, while the use of technology enhance the appeal and the effectiveness of the learning process. For the last, there is face-to-face learning model. The primary model of interaction is face-to-face learning, where are the teachers can directly monitor the student activities, provide the feedback, and ensure the engagement throughout the learning process. For the target audience for the English module for grade 7 grade in student in school at phase D, the outline, the applicable curriculum, this module specifically designed for the regular students following the characteristic. For the first, there are age and education level. This module instead the for seventh grade students, typically age 12 until 13 years old. Students in this level are the stage of formal operations, cognitive development, where are they begin to think abstractly, logically, and systematically. For the next, there are student characteristics. This module is aimed at the student who achieve the engagement discussions, process critical reasoning skills, and have level high motivations. Additionally, the students are expected to demonstrate and perceive when the facing challenges during the learning process. For the next, there are learning needs. The target audience of the module requires interactive and activities such as the dialogue, watching video, role-playing, and composing short text. There are activities aimed to enhance listening, speaking, and reading skills. English particularly set of self-introductions, greetings, and everyday conversation. For the next, there are prerequisite skills. The module is designed for the students who are the processed by basically listening, speaking skills, allowing the learning process to focus on the developing English language skill in a more structured manner. For the last, there are learning environment. This model is suitable for the use to face in the face classroom setting, with the teacher serving a facilitator in the complex of supporting media such as the whiteboards, projectors, laptop, and internet access. Okay, for the conclusion for the in the target audience, this model is designed to address needs of the regular student, fostering by their confidence, communication skill, and enhancing critical thinking abilities. These primary goals to equip students the tools they need to use English effectively to effective in everyday life through the structures life such as the role playings, group discussion, and practical conversation exercise. This model encourages the activity engage in the meaningful of authentically interactions. These are activities also help students refine their pronunciation and expand their vocabulary and develop a stronger grasp of grammar. Beyond the linguistic proficiency, the model emphasizes the interpretation skills, such as the active listening, collaboration, and empathy, which are vital for the effective communications. By integrating real-world context and listening, multimedia sort like video and interactive tools, the model creates a dynamic, engaging learning environment. This approach that motivates students to practice English confidently in these diverse scenarios, whether this in a social, academic, or professional setting. Ultimately, the model not focus on the language acquisition, but also prepares students become the competent communicators who can adopt the globalized world through the holistic approach. Students gain the skills, confidence, and necessary to express themselves effectively and meaningful in English. For the aims and approach, this model equips students with essential group skills for the effective communication in real-life situations. These primary goals include developing by fundamental competencies in listening, speaking, reading, and writing, while they are fostering practical communication through the confident building exercise. The model emphasizes the application of English in everyday contexts, such as reading, introduction, and basic conversations. Additionally, it promotes the critical thinking and achieved by learning engaging students interactive activities that enhance their problem solving and reasoning abilities. Beyond the language skill, the model also aimed to develop interpretation skills like collaboration, empathy, and culture awareness, preparing students to communicate effectively in both formal and informal settings to achieve their job of the module adopt the several approaches. A scientific approach encourages the student to observe, analyze, and practice language through the structured activities and such as watching the video, practicing on the relevant to real life scenario, while the interactive learning methods like group discussion and Q&A section for the active participation in the interrogation multimedia resource, such as the video, enhance the engagement and accessibility while also promoting the digital literacy. For the skills, in the English module for grade 7 focus on developing key English language skill aligned with student education and communication needs. For the first, there are listening skill. The model emphasizes the importance of listening skill are fundamental for the understand spoken English. Activities such as the watching video, listening to dialogue, and practicing of interactive conversation help students. For the speaking skills are major focus on the module, with the activities designed to build for confident and fluency spoken in English, so the role playing, discussion, and practicing dialogues. For the next, there are reading skill. The model introduced the reading exercise enhance the conversation and vocabulary. These are activities involve the reading text and dialogues and instructions. For the last skills, there are reading skills. Reading tasks are incorporate the reinforce student ability to organize by express their through written form. By addressing this skill, the model ensure a balanced approach to language learning, preparing students and English effectively in both academic everyday context. For the language content in the model for grade 7 incorporates the essential language content to build student fundamental skills in communication. The vocabulary focus on the partial used in everyday, such as the greeting partings, self-introductions, and informal expressions. These sections are ensure the can communicate effectively in both formal casual setting. For the additionally, to model emphasize the grammar structures, there are included subject pronouns and possessive forms, which help the student can clear sentence. The use of the verb is conversed extensively for the consisting basic statement and description, such as the module also introduce the present continuous. There are tense describing ongoing, such as the by combining vocabulary and grammar with partial example. The model ensures that can apply their concept confidently in real life of communication. For the work experience, there are the controversial topic designed to help students communicate effectively in everyday situations. The first topic there are growing the partings, focus and understanding the formal expressions. Yes. Students will also learn to respond appropriately to greetings and use parting expressions equips the student the prep for self-introductions, as well as the sentence in the introduce others like personal information such as the hobbies, age, preference. It also convert. The module includes the basic conversation, teaching students engage in everyday dialogues using polite the expression in the both formal and informal setting. Additionally, the culture dialogue using the polite expression in both formal for the helping student difference between the formal and informal language to use appropriately in across contexts. For the partial considerations, the language module designed the partial considerations, learning and applications. It focused on real-life communication skill, making the material relevant and immediately useful for the students. The topic there are as reading practice and self-introductions are carefully chosen by aligning with the student daily interactions. The model incorporates the balance of the formal and informal language, enabling students adapt their communication to their own context. Activity like role playing, group discussion, Q&A, and experience enhancing student confidence and influentially. The use of the multimedia resource such as the videos caters to diverse learning styles and keep students engaged. Additionally, the modules support the graduate skill development by starting from basic vocabulary and grammar to more complex conversation. Instructors approach the combined with the formative assessment and collaborative exercise ensure the student build the both linguistic competence and the interpersonal skills preparing for the academic and social communication effectively. For the language features is several language features designed the student proficiency in both understanding by using English. The module emphasizes core aspects of language learning, such as the vocabulary development, focusing on everyday expressions like greeting, introduction, and practicing, which students can apply real-life context. It also highlights the grammar structures, particularly in the subject pronouns, passive forms, and the verb to be allowing students constructing the accurate, the present continuous tense module balance, performance, and informal language, ensuring the student understand the appropriate context for using each time. Pronunciation and intonations are addressed through the interactive activities, helping the student refine their spoken English. Additionally, to module emphasize practical communication skills, such as the active listening, question formation, and polite the reverse response, ensuring the student can use the English confidently both academic and social setting. For the conclusion and recommendation, in my conclusion, the English module for grade 7 provides well around the approach the focusing on the partial communication skills, essential grammar and vocabulary by emphasizing student life situations such as the greeting, self-introduction, and everyday conversations. The module ensures the students are equipped the language skill needed for both and academic interactions while the interactive activities, multimedia research, and the gradual skill development help maintain the engagement for foster confidence in using English. For my recommendation for further improvement, there are recommendations include the interact technology based on assessment, such as the language game or application to appeal these teach-savvy learners and provide the instant feedback. Additionally, integrating more cross-culture content could help the student better understanding diverse communication style, social context, further preparing for the global interactions. Finally, proving the opportunity for extended speaking practice, such as in the debates presentation, or could be enhanced fluency in confidence. Okay, just there for my presentation about the analyzing the course book. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Stop share ya.